This is my new go-to water cup for the month.
Hey y'all, my name is Nat. I hope you're having a terrific day today, and for this video we are going to be doing my October TBR. Alright, before we get to anything bookish, make sure to hit like and subscribe down below, as well as tell me in the comments what is one book you're determined you will get read in October. Alrighty, so it is the best month of the year, October. Not just because of spooky season, but also my birthday. Can't wait for that. There are a million readathons going on right now, and on that note, I got a little overwhelmed. I really wanted to partake in so many of these, but lucky for me, I actually got asked to host a very low-key, relaxed bingo board readathon for the rest of the year. This is being hosted by myself, Paige at the PM Reader, Randi-Lynn, Serena at Read the Riot, as well as Rhiannon at the 𝗖cie his𝘁𝘁. This is going to go across multiple different platforms: YouTube, Instagram, Discord, as well as Twitch. This is a very low-stakes readathon that is going to be going throughout the coziest time of the year. There are 5 prompts per month, as well as 5 prompts per season. There is one board for books, as well as one board for fan fiction. Not to mention the fact there are also activity prompts included within both of them. And then it is also okay for people to double up on prompts with these, as long as it is between the month and the season. Fall could count for both October as well as November, and then winter could double count with December. Like I said, this is a very low stakes readathon that we want to ensure is very easy to win, but we do have an incentive for everybody that if you do black out one of these boards, you actually will be entered for a giveaway. We are gonna have group reads, live sprints, live shows, as well as movie nights. We have an Instagram as well as a Discord, which I'll put in links down below. Definitely make sure to join those so you can keep up with all of the announcements, like our group reads, live shows, movie nights, all that sort of stuff. Plus, then you can report back with a bingo board and hopefully get entered for that giveaway. Alrighty, now that I've taken my promotional hat off, getting into the rest of the readathons. Yeah, it's me, naturally. I can't only partake in one. Becca at Becca in the Books, who usually hosts Bookoplathon in September, is actually gonna be doing Spookoplathon for October, and I was so excited when I heard this. As I mentioned, I love October. I think I got a little too structured at my TBR last month, so this month I thought it would be super fun if I utilize the Spookoplathon board to figure out what books I'm going to be reading throughout the month. So with that being said, let's do my first roll. Alrighty, so we have our Spookoplathon board. I've got my little player here. It's my 𝗖elle/Athena statuette. I have my chance and community cards if we need them, and then my dice. First one. Oh, we got 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're burning the witches even if you aren't one. Okay, so I landed on one of the train stations, which I do really appreciate that all of these have references to Taylor Swift songs. Specifically, I landed on They're Burning Witches Even If You Aren't One. And for that, it's very easy. Read a book with witches, the occult, cults themselves, rituals, and I feel like this counts. I'm saying it counts. A Far Wilder Magic by Allison Saft. Technically, they're not witches, but they are alchemists. So, you know, I feel like that's pretty similar. Definitely in the vibes of the occult still. Plus, it works out perfectly, seeing as how this was on my fall TBR that I wanted to get read this year. As I've mentioned before, this was sold to me as Roy and Risa fanfiction from Full Metal Alchemist, but really this is following a young woman who is a hunter, whereas her mother is an incredibly well-known alchemist. This man ends up coming to stay with her, who was hoping to train under her mother, but unfortunately ends up with her. However, she agrees that he can stay with her if he will help her in this hunt, which has just started in her village. Margaret is the best sharpshooter in town, so she is determined that she is going to kill this 𝗖elle, the last living mythical creature, and doing so will bring on fame and riches, as well as a magical secret. I'm really excited to get into this one. It definitely just gives me autumnal vibes, so I feel like this is gonna work. I say it works. Oh, also, did you see my totally on theme drinks? This is my new go-to water cup for the month. Though I am going to try and make my TBR as random as possible this month, I do have a few books that I am really hopeful to get to, manage to squeeze in at some point. Starting at the top is Cackle by Rachel Harrison. This will actually be a reread for me because I read this last October and loved it. The vibes, the aesthetic,
the best part of the story. This is an empowering story following a woman who ends up breaking up with her boyfriend, losing her job, and moving to a brand new city where she starts over and ends up running into Sophie, the eccentric woman about town who most people are also slightly fearful of. Sophie ends up teaching Annie, the main character, to sort of just be herself, embrace who she is, and I loved this so much last year. I want to reread it. I want to annotate it. It's perfect for October. The vibes in this book, man, the vibes are so good. Another Rachel Harrison I am hoping to get to is Black Sheep, her newest release, which I think is just following a woman who is known as the black sheep of her family. She has kept her distance for quite some time, but ends up returning home because of a wedding or something, I think. This is Jan Agaton's Full Moon book club pick for October, so of course I have to try and get this read, and I am very excited for it. Finally, for the Horror Hideout book club, I am hoping to get read The September House by Carissa Orlando. I've been hearing a lot of things about this lately. I believe it's a gothic haunted house story. That's kind of all I really know, kind of all I want to know. I've heard it's pretty ooky spooky, unsettling. I'm into it. I'm also intrigued to hear everybody else's thoughts. I really want to try and prioritize horror and thrillers this month. I say as though half of this TBR isn't fantasy already. Here's hoping you'll enjoy this, or at the very least have something interesting to add to the book club discussion. And then the last book is a release which is coming out this month, and that is Iris Kelly Doesn't Date by Ashley Herring Blake. This is on a very different note. It is a romance book that will be rounding out the Bright Falls series. I believe this is a fake dating one in which Iris has a one-night stand with a woman, and then the next day the two end up working together on some new project, but things are a little awkward because the people around them know they hooked up. So then they fake date in order to kind of make things a little bit less weird. Because, you know, fake dating makes things a lot more normal. I've heard positive things about this one so far, and Iris is my favorite character of the friend group, so I'm really hoping I can get to this. Alrighty, and that is it. This is a shockingly easy TBR for me. All the information for the Fall into Winter Readathon is linked in the description down below. Please check everything out and consider joining us. I'm really excited to dive into it, and hopefully it will keep me motivated for the rest of the reading year. All right, y'all, so that is it for today. Thank you so much for coming to my channel. I really appreciate it. Make sure to hit like and subscribe down below. I have all my socials as well as a few ways you can support me linked in the description. I come out with videos on Monday and Friday, but until then, I hope you continue to have a terrific day. Love you, bye!